But yeah, look, like I said, hopefully Cook Islands can get back into the mix of things. Now, the final thing to speak about here is something that we spoke about a couple of weeks ago, in that there was a rugby tournament that was being created called the World 12's. Now, unfortunately, this has been rejected by World Rugby, and the funny thing about this as well is World Rugby 12 was apparently appointed their CEO on the same day it was suffered rejection. So they appointed the CEO saying, full steam ahead, let's go, son, you're in charge. And then about an hour later probably said, you know what, mate, we're not going to need you. We're not going to need you. So, unfortunately, it's the proposed World 12 tournament has suffered a potential terminal blow following opposition from unions and domestic competitions. Dubbed the Indian Premier League of Rugby, organisers plan to launch the 12-a-side tournament next August in the hopes that its franchise system, including a player auction, would entice new fans and money into the game. But World Rugby have released a statement, Hamish, that appears to end hopes of it ever taking place after a report revealed that a letter written by stakeholders, including the Gallagher Premiership and Top 14, outlined their objections. So do you agree with this?
I believe we mentioned something about it a while ago in terms of not sure when it was going to be taking place in terms of transfer or like kind of windows of being able to play the games, due to the fact that at the moment, the Gallagher Premiership, I think it runs for about 9 months of the year. Like it started recently and it goes right through to the end of Super Rugby in that kind of June or so. I think 25th was the final last year. So it's just that case of normally, like with the schedule the way that it is at the moment, even having the URC added in, running the way that it is, it was going to be quite a scramble to be able to fit it in, even though I really wanted to see more rugby, of course. But yeah, it is a bit of a shame that we're not going to get to see it, but hopefully they do still try and find some way of, if they don't have the World 12s, see if we can get that Club World Cup or something along those lines, some other type of competition kind of going.
Nah. I think we've got enough rugby right now. The thing is, man, the reason why it's not going to work is because of the fact there's too much rugby. There's too much rugby going on. So, like, one thing finishes. So you just said the June 25th, right?
Yeah.
When the Gallagher Premiership? Okay, cool. Rugby Championship's on.
Right? Yeah, so it does make it very tough. July window as well for the internationals first, I believe.
Like, can you tell me a month? Can you tell me a span of how long would it take to keep this competition afloat? Like to have a regular season, probably 4 months. Yeah.
I feel like you need a decent amount of time because World 12s, I assume you're having 12 teams. Would you have? Or?
Well, I would assume. I don't know.
If
that's just 12 on the side, is what they're alluding to.
So I guess you probably need, like, if you got, let's say, 10 teams even, like you want to play everyone once, so that's 9 weeks. You'd think, unless, of course, they're going to really cram the games in.
Yeah, so that's at very minimum, you're probably looking at about 3 months schedule. Now, tell me 3 months where you could fit it in.
Oh, I wouldn't mind seeing it some stage, just squeezing
I want to
hear
your months, because you said I want to hear your months. What months would you throw it in?
I mean, I feel like depending on who you've got signing for them as well, because I think they did mention originally that it was going to be like a good way of the countries that don't play too much international rugby getting an opportunity to actually play some games type thing.
Yeah, but we all know that's not really the case, though. They would have gone and bought the best players ever so that they could get the fans in, because no one's going to give a shit from Barry from the Bottle-O, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one cares.
I'd probably watch Barry.
You'd watch Barry from the Bottle-O. You'd watch Barry from the Bottle-O. So if I went down the Bottle-O right now and I said, Barry, hey, listen, we've got a rugby team you play for. You're going to stream their game. You reckon you're going to stream the game?
Does Barry, does he have
Get
a
out
few
my face.
friends,
We're
or is he just...
We're moving on here. We're moving on here because we're going to discuss a few things about the most recent games. But first off, before we do discuss about the recent games that happened, obviously the Wallies, there's a few issues right now.